Ladies and gents, my name is Koryzma. I stream on Twitch. I say arguably questionable things, and here's a fun fact about me. I sometimes wear socks to bed, you know? Sometimes my feet are just so fucking cold that I need them to warm up, and the blankets just ain't enough. But this is a podcast-style talk show where we invite new guests each show to give their takes on common people's struggles. The chat has a chance to get their takes in as well. Let us know what you think, and we'll get to your take on the show if we can. Later in the show, we will play a game with our guests, so stick around and enjoy Takes with Koryzma. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have our guest who bleeds football, is on his way to one above all in Marvel Rivals, and hosts hit show Gametime Gents. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Nardy. How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy?
Thanks up,
for
man?
Having me on.
Of course, brother. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate you. How you doing? How's things?
Things are great, man. Just worked all day. Working on the podcast stuff before.
That's awesome, bro.
So, yeah, I'm excited to be on.
Dude, I'm nervous, but hey, man, you have an incredible show, and I absolutely love it. So, like, dude, and you just had me on recently, so I really appreciate it, bro. Like, I'm glad we've able to kind of connect a bit more and like actually do stuff together.
Yeah, absolutely, me too.
Cause like we were talking about it, and like we're like, wait, like aside from like being like kind of in chats and stuff, it's like how many times have we actually chilled? And we're like, the last time we were talking about, it was Tiff's birthday, like a year or two ago. We were playing Overwatch.
Yeah, it was the random Overwatch night. I do.
Yeah, dude. And
I don't think I've played that game since then. So
dude, I ain't gonna lie, I played it like twice, and I'm pretty sure they were both for Tiff. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
right.
It's just it ain't. It's just one of those games that I just never really got into. But like it's fun. But like it's fun with friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a blast. Until you hit that rank skid where you're just like going down a couple ranks, but that's what we have rivals for now.
Exactly. And that's how I felt in Siege. Is like I'd be like, okay, I'm silver today, and then you'd win 2 in a row and be like, kind of on a hot streak, and then you'd just get fisted and lose like 4 in a row, and you're sent backwards. You're like, I'm never playing this fucking game again. This sucks. This game's stupid.
Just feel like you're treading water, then all of a sudden
dude,
you drown.
You're drowning. Yeah, like you're fighting for your life. So man, you're a big football guy. Who's your team?
Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns, dude. That I don't know nothing. I don't really honest. I don't know nothing about football, but except for the fact that
we are famously bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most thing I know about football is Blue Mountain State. Hit TV show, because I know Thad is a great player. He does a little too many drugs, but he's there.
I think they're bringing it back.
Dude, I heard they were too, and I'm actually super excited about that because like I keep seeing all these TikToks, and it's like showing like it's showcasing the range of Alan Richson, because it would be like it'll show like him in the Reacher, and then it'll cut to like him as Thad, and he's just like high pitched screaming, like doing something like completely opposite, and it's so funny, dude.
Completely different person. Yeah, I've seen those too. He's like either running with an Oreo between his cheeks, or he's pulling a car door off of a car. So
dude, I love, dude, that was actually so fun, and the way he eats the Oreo is just like you really question yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh man, it's so good, bro. So thank you again for coming on. I'm very excited.
Yeah, happy to be here.
What have you been playing? So you've been playing a lot of Rivals. What else? Is that all you've been kind of playing?
I've dove into the new Fortnite season a little bit just because I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Okay.
Other than that, Verdansk is back for Call of Duty Warzone, so been playing that a little bit with my friends, and Repo,
nice.
Phasmophobia, when we kind of just want a change of pace thing, but
absolutely
really the big four.
The big four.
Don't
I
have
like
as much time to game as we used to, so.
I mean, that's adulting, bro. Like, it sucks, man. Like, I always feel like it really kind of just throws us for a loop, because it's like I just wake up and I just want to play games, dude. Like, I have so many in my backlog that it's scarier than a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, there's so many I want to play, and so many I've told myself I'm going to play, and then I know once GTA 6 eventually comes out, I'm not going to play anything else ever.
I'm so cooked, dude. Like I've watched that trailer like 6-7 times.
I have to.
And I have to be honest, Lucia, she can have me, bro. I can fix her. You know what I mean? Like,
did you see the screenshots on their website?
I haven't looked at them. I heard about them.
Yeah, incredible. Like I can't wait.
Dude, I can't either, bro. Like, if I have to, I'll buy a PS5 Pro for this. You know what I mean? Like, this is worth it.
Yeah, I will too. Don't tell my wife because I'm pretty sure she's in here. But yeah,
yeah. Don't worry.
I would also do that.
Miss NardyGG, don't worry. He's not gonna buy it. Wink, wink. He was just. But man, yeah, dude, that game is gonna be unreal, and I think it's gonna like change lives, bro. It's gonna be great. I think it will
too. Hopefully they kick off with like the online representation that they have now.
Oh yeah,
with GTA Online, but I don't know, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's and the thing is, everybody knows what Grand Theft Auto is. You know what I mean? Just like everybody knows who the Avengers are. It's one of those things it's just one of those. It's a common knowledge thing.
Right.
So super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So
I know I was I was not surprised, but it still like hurt. And I'm like, dude, we could have had GTA in like probably like November this year.
Yeah, it's funny that they gave like an actual day too.
Yeah, because before they kept saying fall,
like early. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very excited because like I remember when GTA 5 got delayed originally. I don't know if I still have it. I had a poster with Franklin on it, and it said spring of 2013 or whatever, instead of like it being coming out the fall that year. So it's kind of cool to be like, oh, that like it was supposed to come out then, but it did.
You better find that. That's a collector's item.
I know. I think it might be a little more damaged than I thought, but because it was like over 10 years ago. But I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, Nardy, who do you think you could take in a football tackle? Is there like a player on the Browns you think you could take?
Like in the league right now?
Yeah. Like, do you think you could like I don't know, like the drills they do. Do you think there's any players you could defeat?
So the one that's like coming to mind is the Oklahoma drill. That's where you have a blocker, a defender, a linebacker, and then a running back.
Okay.
So the one if I'm trying to block somebody, give me a kicker. I feel like I could block a kicker pretty well.
Okay.
But other than that, dude, those dudes are so big and fast.
Dude, they're insane, bro. Like,
have you seen Aaron Donald before?
No.
Yeah, you should look up a picture of Aaron Donald or Myles Garrett. They just, there's no way I'm even coming close to being able to combat.
I'm looking at the sheer size of this man. That is like some Lester Spite, fucking Terry Crews, just Rich Piana size, bro. Like, that is insane.
Yeah, Aaron Donald used to do hand fighting drills where the other person had knives.
What? Wait, what?
So he would have to win the hand fighting drill, or
get stabbed.
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm sure there's something out there on it, but yeah, crazy stuff. Those guys are top of their craft and everything that they do. So
yeah, dude, it's
100%.
That's why I always enjoy like there's always those people that like, especially like there's like, say there's like a basketball, like an NBA player. He's not a superstar, but he's on the team. It's like there's people that would talk shit to him and be like, yeah, dude, I'm better than you. It's like, I don't think you understand the skill gap from like your beer league to even like NBA like D players. Dude, they will still crush you.
It'd be so much different. Like, I'm sure those guys in shooting drills just never miss.
Well, that's just it, right?
The fact that they have people guarding them. That's why they miss.
That's the only the fact that there's contention is the only reason that they're missing.
Yeah. I mean, so there was a debate a while ago, and it was who would win, basketball players playing football or football players playing basketball. Oh, interesting. And I'm curious on your thoughts on that. Like, who do you think would win in that situation? I think I almost want to say the basketball players playing football, not
like, just because not that the NFL, like football guys, are out of shape or anything, I feel like just like the amount of running back and forth in comparison to like a play, take a break, a play, take a break. But like, other than that, like I have that just endurance wise, that's why I lean for that. Cause like the NBA guys all sports players are quick as fuck for the most part, right? Like, but you know, when it comes to the actual like physical defense, that's where it's going to be hard to compare because they're not going to be prepared for that, really. I
feel like I tend to lean the football players playing basketball just because there's already a lot of explosivity in football.
Right.
And then those guys, they're just going to try to manhandle everybody anyway.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably going to play really hard defense.
Oh, for sure.
Like the 80s, 70s, 80s NBA out there, and they're just going to be mauling people. So,
oh, absolutely.
I mean, LeBron goes down barely being touched. So,
oh, dude, 100%. You ever watch the show Pros versus Joes?
I have seen clips of it, but I haven't actually watched it.
Oh, dude, what a classic show! I'm assuming
they
you know
bring it back.
Yeah, they 100% should bring it back, especially because of like, you know, like people comparing themselves to these athletes. Okay, it's like step up to the plate. Let's see what happens.
Right? No, they should definitely bring that back. And like even dudes who think that they can hit baseballs, that actual MLB players throw out there, there's no way.
There's no way, dude. They're throwing at like 100 miles an hour. Like I'm gonna blink and that shit's gonna be in the back catcher's mitt. Like I'm
too much false confidence, man.
Dude, they do, man. And like, at least I know if I could probably throw a bunt if they throw like the thing is MLB pros will just have to pitch down straight down. They don't even have to mix it up.
Yeah, just throw the heater every time.
Just throw a heater, yeah. And it's just warm up. It's just breakfast for them.
Right.
So, dude, I always find sports so fascinating, man. Because like these people are like top tier athletes, and you know you always think about like, man, it'd be so cool. But then you like these people are just playing it day and night, dude. It's like the rise, the grind. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, I always wonder like. I'm sure that they're thrilled to be playing a kid's game for their job, but I wonder if it ever loses that spark, you know, because like you said, it ends up being a job. They have to go to meetings. They have to do all this training, which I'm sure they want to do to be the best because those guys are competitive anyways. But
exactly,
you know, you got to think that some of that dream probably gets tarnished throughout that.
Because you'd like to think so, because like even if any hobby turns into like a career or like something that it changes anything like in any sort of way, like it's got to like you said, lose that spark where like, you know, if you go home and you know, for us it's like if you had your dodgeball league and you're like, it's my favorite part of my week, but all of a sudden you're like, you know, you're on the Cobras or whatever from dodgeball, like you're taking it so seriously, the fun's got to be gone a little bit, you know what I mean? Like because like you have to show up. If you're healthy, you show up.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to be there all the time. You can't take any days off, like, or else you're gonna get replaced. You're gonna get replaced.
Exactly, right? Like
that's the thing with that too. There's so many guys that are probably looking over their shoulder all the time. Like, if you're a mid roster guy and you can get replaced easily, then you gotta ball out.
Next thing you know, like, which, you know, again, there's nothing wrong with it, but next thing you know, you're not even on like the national team. You're on like the first team for the hometown or whatever for that town.
Right.
And you slowly go down or just step away or whatever. But like, I'm assuming people with those contracts, you know, you say you lock in a 1, 3, or 5 year contract, like you're probably pretty excited at least for like, you're like, I'm safe for at least the next this long.
Yeah.
And
unless they blow it, which is. That happens a lot.
It definitely happens. I always feel like, because like, yeah, like people get injured, you're cooked. Unless you have that like contract, like it's brutal. But
no, it's an interesting world that we'll never be a part of.
100%. Like the closest thing we can get is like the documentaries that people make, like The Last Dance and stuff. And it's so cool to watch because like you'll like you said, we'll never get to experience that stuff firsthand, so we'll never know what goes on unless, you know, someone's phone is recording it in the locker room. Like I think it was Austin Matthews or somebody, or no, it was Connor, not Bedard. Oh, well, the Edmonton guy, the guy who's on like Edmonton or whatever. I can't remember his name.
Connor McDavid.
McDavid, thank you. Where he's like screaming at his team to lock the fuck in. Like he's like yelling at them. He's like, if you do not give it, if you have nothing to give, stay the fuck out. Off the ice. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Like he's just and I'm like, honestly, I loved that energy. And it's like, but like those are the things that you will never see unless something just comes out.
Yeah, that's kind of like Kobe. I mean, you've heard all the stories about Kobe, like always the first guy in, the first guy out, and then it's, you know, there was times where he just didn't even talk to his team. Yeah, he would go through an entire practice and just not talk to his team. He'd be there before and after. It's just because he felt like they didn't give as much as he did. So, and that's valid for him because he's the leader and all that. Exactly. And he's setting the standard, right? Exactly. He's showing like, if you guys, and I'm sure if they followed his mentality, it would have been the most unreal team in the history of, in the history of sports. Yeah. If everyone was like, you're right, we're playing until somebody just fucking passes out, or we're playing until like such and such, we're practicing, like we are making sure, you know, in these drills I'm hitting 5 for 5 for shots or blah blah blah. Like it's crazy, man. Like the mentality, and it's not, I don't even think you can really develop it. I feel like it's more of like it's in you. No, it's Mamba mentality. It is. It's not. It's something you're born with. Mentality too. So the Goggins. Someone's got to carry the boats, man. David Goggins, yeah. So I love that, man. That guy's a little insane, though. He's a little, don't get me wrong, a little too much, little wild, but I respect the mentality. Yeah. Like he's like, we got to get this shit done, man. Like nobody's gonna do it besides me. He's about as type A as I am, type B. So personality wise. Hey, man, that's okay. I feel like it all works in the right ways. Sure. Yeah. But Nardy, you ready to get into some Am I the Asshole? Let's do it. All right, buddy. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you. This is the right button. There you go. You should see that there. Yep, I see it. Perfect. And then... all right, guys. Our first story of the day. Am I the asshole for divorcing my husband after finding out he subscribed to my childhood best friend's OnlyFans? It's crazy. That's a crazy start. That's a wild start. I'm 28 female and my husband is 31 male. We have been married for 2 years but have been together for 5. We were planning on having kids soon and actually made an Amazon wish list in preparation. All of these things changed after something he did last week that made me change my mind completely. So I went through his Instagram following one night. Not that I suspected him of cheating or anything, but looking for potential mutuals. We both worked at the same location at one point, and as I'm going through, I noticed my childhood best friend's OnlyFans Instagram account where she promotes. This suddenly made me have the realization, and I got super sick. He came home from work super late, but I was too shaken up to say anything about it at the time. The next morning, I text my friend on Instagram and asked if she knew that my husband is following her, and unfortunately she said yes, and she told me that he subscribes to her too. This made me furious. She knew about it and didn't tell me, and I knew I had to cut ties with her, but first, I had to deal with my husband. I finally decided to bring it up to him the next day. I showed him the account and asked, "What's this? Do you know who this is?" He looked anxious before saying no. I showed him the messages between me and my friend before he finally said something. Let the cat out of the bag. I told him I want to file for a divorce because I'm done with him. I blocked him and my friend everywhere and cut contact with him fully yesterday. I'm now getting messages from random accounts on Instagram telling me I am stupid for divorcing over and my ex-husband blah blah blah, or subscribing for that. A part of me feels like I should just forgive him, but I'm still angry, especially considering he didn't tell me. What are your thoughts, man? So off rip, like, and I won't go into any personal like beliefs or thoughts or anything, but the second paragraph starting off, so I went through his Instagram following one night. So that to me right there is you're already thinking that he doesn't trust you, or that there's a lack of trust there.
Right.
So I don't know. That's probably, I mean, that definitely does not make her the asshole, because if she had something to suspect, then she should have done what she did. But I feel like there's just, he's clearly the asshole here, but
for sure. And but the one thing is, at least it's not like she's going through his phone. You know what I mean? Right. Like she's just
she's going through his followers.
She's like, I'm just scrolling on his followers on Instagram, so it's not like she's looking for shit, like you said. But I mean, at least in like parentheses, she's talking about like she's looking for mutuals. But I agree. You know, like I see where the red flag is a little bit.
And the fact he lied when she asked.
The crazy part is the lying is the no, right? Yeah. But like ex Cassie-roll in the chat here said, if you're in a relationship and they're subscribed to an OF, is a red flag, no matter who it is. Yes, completely agree with that. Completely agree, because I feel like, first of all, why don't you, if you want to see somebody naked, you can see your wife naked or your husband.
Exactly. Yeah. I just think like exactly what you just said. If you're married or in a relationship, you shouldn't be on any of that stuff anyway.
But I mean, like,
something else,
you know, at least don't pay for it. You know,
but it's why people are coming after her. Like,
yeah,
she's the asshole. She's not the asshole here.
Which sometimes I think when they say like, I'm getting fake Instagram accounts, or not fake, but like random Instagram. It could be maybe her husband made another one just to try and reach out, or maybe it's mutual friends, right? Like just to be like babe.
Right.
Yeah, like
why'd you leave him?
And that Phantom Cook in the chat, I want to see the bros naked, not women. Honestly, I think you just ask at that point, buddy. You know what I mean? Like I'll do it for you. You know.
You ask him to go to the sauna, Phantom.
That's right.
Then you're good.
I feel like I'm wondering, like, if she knew her childhood best friend had like the OF, the thing that I think that's bothering her the most is that she didn't tell her that her husband subbed right away. But here's the thing: how did she know it was him? Unless he specifically messaged them or something like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe they messaged on Instagram before and she told him about it or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So she would know. But Castro just made a good point. Like, you're paying once a month. When you get married, your finances are our finances at that point. So
right,
he's spending her money to look at another woman naked. Like
that's crazy, that's dude. Yeah. Like that's which is crazy to me. It's like, dude, like, why don't you just love your wife?
Right.
You know, like, it's crazy. But yeah, in my brain, like right off the rip, I don't think she's the asshole.
No, I don't think so either. I can't believe people would think she is. I mean,
yeah, like,
I'm interested to know what the comments say on this one.
So first one says, you're not the asshole. Oh my God, if that happened to me, I'd be sick to my stomach. The utter betrayal is horrifying. She was supposed to be your childhood best friend, and he's supposed to be your husband. But he treat you like that. I get there's it's beyond messed up. Personally, I'd be livid and disgusted with both of them.
So did he know her before?
So I would assume so, because they've been together for 5 years. Let's see. Childhood best friend. So she texts her friend. I would imagine he knew.
He knew her.
I feel like if you've been together for that long, you're gonna know their most important people in their life. You know, even if it's like a photo of them, be like, oh, I'm just talking to like one of my best friends, Charlene, and you're like, look, oh my God, look, she was just in Bali or something like that. You know, I feel like it comes up at least, right?
Yeah, what's even more messed up is like, what if she introduced the two, and then he went looking for that,
and then because what if that's her full-time gig, And he's like, oh, what do you do? And she goes, oh, I do this. And then he just goes, oh shit, and gets all fired up.
Good for her if she does, but that's not your. That's the wrong clientele.
That's well, like, you know, like
it's not be doing that. Yeah.
It's also like, you know, her husband shouldn't have been like, that's where I should go.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you're gonna like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think the husband's the only one that's the asshole here.
The next comment is, not the asshole. I'm sorry, both your husband and friends suck. Not the asshole. People are saying it's drastic, but I'm proud of you. You made the decision most people don't when it comes to toxic behavior and red flags. You didn't ignore it. Besides, if you ignore the OF and the best friends, it'll all come down to him not communicating his needs and then keeping something from his wife that eventually would hurt her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild that situation's even out there. I'm sure that happens more often than we think, though.
Especially, like, yeah, I was going to say, maybe like a few years ago, maybe not a few, maybe 10 years ago, that would probably be super uncommon, except for, like, what was that one website that was, like, notorious for affairs?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like, it was the one that got exposed and everything, but like that was probably like the OG version
like
of that.
List got out, right?
Yeah. That was
Somebody
like
hacked it and then, yeah.
Ashley Madison. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
And that was like it was notorious for that. And then, like you said, the list, that was probably like the OG version of that. And then now it's, now it's just OF. Like in this particular situation, not like for regular stuff.
Right. No, that's definitely messed up.
Yeah. But in my eyes, she's not the asshole. I think she reacted appropriately. I'm you know, for her not to just like blow up to be like immediately as where she like got, you know, she tried to talk to him about it and he's just like, nah, we're good. I'm like, what do you mean we're good? Nah, I'm not doing that. It's like, brother, I have living proof. You know, she's my best friend. So yeah, works for me, man. You ready for the next one?
I'm ready for the next one, dude.
Ooh-wee. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that they aren't her kids anymore? So I'm 37, female. My wife, Sarah, is 36. And my friend Helen, 39, have triplets I adopted from Helen because she wasn't ready and the father, in parentheses, wasn't in the picture. The girls are now 16, and the first few months she tried to be in the picture, but when the girls were 4 months old, she stopped showing up, answering my calls, and blocked me. I found out through a mutual friend she moved to Spain with the baby daddy of the girls. She apparently wanted to leave them without feeling bad, and she called me a fool for falling for it, but I was not giving up. I raised the girls with my wife, and they believe I gave birth to them because I look a lot like them. But a few hours ago, Helen came to the house and asked for them back. I asked, what does she mean by them? She said, my daughters. I told her no. She's not making, like, she's not, oh, what the fuck? She started making a scene, and my neighbors came out to look. I told her if she doesn't leave, I'll call the police. So she left. Now I'm waiting for my wife, Sarah, to come back and talk about what we'll do next. I'm thinking of telling the girls the truth. English is their third language, so no worries on that part. But, let's see. But she, and then, so, oh, hang on, I gotta refresh the page because I think there's read more. So Sarah came home and the girls were in the room. I told Sarah what happened. She agreed that we should tell them the truth at dinner. So I told the truth. They asked if they wanted to see Helen. They said no. I told them it's okay, but I think they are mad I lied to them their whole life. I mean, I feel like stuff like that is pretty common with parents just because I feel like when they're kids, it could really fuck them up.
So the triplets are 16 now. So
yeah. Triplets are 16. She told the lady that these aren't your daughters anymore. They're mine. And now she started making a scene. And
Helen is for sure the asshole here because you can't just leave for 16 years and then come back.
Well, that's just it.
That's weird energy right there.
There's no way there was no cigarettes in Spain. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
So, like,
no, but I don't know. This one is complicated because the triplets deserve to know who their true mom is, and if they want to have a relationship with that person, which I don't know why they would. If
Yeah,
their mom just like walked out on him for 16 years. But yeah, the title is accurate. Like, she's not the asshole for telling her friend that they're not her kids anymore.
Yeah, because she may have birthed them, but like, she raised them. So it's like
she raised them from
those
3 months to 16 years old.
Exactly, right? So it's like, those are your kids. I feel like, if you took care of a dog for 3 years and the owner comes back and says, I'd like my dog back, it's like, no, it's my dog.
Right. The dog doesn't even like you anymore.
Yeah.
The dog, know who you are.
Exactly. Like, so
I mean, kids know who that person is.
So for me, like, I was like, nah, like, she's not the asshole. And I feel like, I can see where the frustrating and the complication comes from with the girls, because it's like, they said they aren't interested in a relationship, which is like you said, it's completely up to them. Completely, they want to pursue that, they totally can. But I can also understand where they're frustrated, because they're like, oh, I've thought you were my mom, you're my actual mom my whole life, and now I have to kind of like adjust to the fact that you kind of just.
I mean, the bridges could have been broken with all of them, or burnt with all of them.
Oh, 100%.
Like you said, they lied. So her and Sarah lied at that point.
They did.
But no,
But I also feel like that's very common when people like adopt kids or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I feel like it's just one of those things where it is like you kind of have to wait for the right time. Like, there will never be a right time, but at the same time, you want them to be a little more like comprehensive and like maybe understanding of just like life before you just go, yeah, I'm not your real mom.
And you want it to be well thought out too, not like, hey, your real mom's back and my back's against the wall, I have to tell you what's going on.
Exactly, right? Like, your real mom's back, and it's like, okay. And now I have, your real mom's back. I'm actually going to hand her off to you guys, or hand you guys off to her. So, like, it was nice seeing you guys, and I'll send my bill.
I'll invoice you for everything that I've bought these girls.
Exactly, right? Like, if she's like, there's no way she's not gonna be able to take care of them. Just showing up out of the blue is always never a good sign either. Like, it always kind of gives me like, you ever watch Shameless, like the US one?
Yeah.
Kind of just gives me like Frank vibes, except like they're just like I know it's just like plot power, so they're all kind of always intertwined, but like, it'd be like if Frank just shows up and you'd be like, what the fuck do you want, dude?
No, it's very much Frank vibes. Helen's the asshole here, but
Helen's the comments.
I don't think she's an asshole at all. I mean, I don't think Sarah is either, but it sucks that the girls are going to be mad at them, and they have the right to be mad because they have been lied to their entire life. But
for sure. Yeah, the first comment.
I think that they'll be able to understand, like, that's gonna heal.
Oh, for sure, right? Like, it's gonna be okay. Like King Kong down in the chat says, Bio Mom can try to build a relationship, but ultimately it's up to the kids.
Yeah, especially with how old they are. Yeah,
absolutely, right? It's not like they're fighting over custody. Like, they're just. And she like left for 16 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, that 16 years is crazy.
Yeah. It's not like it was a week. Like, 16 years is a long time. You go through a lot. They're learning to fucking drive. Right. They're not sitting there waiting for someone to come home, and like, that's crazy.
Also, I'm curious to know if this was in Italy or if it was somewhere else. Like,
it's a good question. She said
her first language is Italian, but there's got to be some sort of like. She
said moved to America 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. Spent most of my time in France. Interesting. Okay.
The first comment says, not the asshole, but you really should tell your kids they're adopted. If this lady is bold enough to show up and demand them back, why wouldn't she be bold enough to talk to them directly or message them on social media? That is not information you want to come from her.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point too, right? To be like, moreover, your kids have a right to know they're adopted at the bare minimum. They need to know that they have different family medical history than you do. Not having that information could have a serious and negative impact on their lives. Fair enough. Yeah. Didn't really think about that on the medical side.
That's a very good point.
Next one was, it's a difficult situation to be in. As hard as it is honestly the best. The girls still have a right to know who their biological mother is, as it's part of their identity. I can only imagine how hard it is for you and your wife, because you raised, loved, and cared for them when their biological mom abandoned them. If you don't tell them, there is a risk that their biological mom will tell them without your permission. By law, you have parental rights as you adopted them, but the kids are at an age to make some independent choices. Make sense? Yeah.
It really sucks that I didn't catch the author's name of this, but Sarah and
it didn't. Never gave her a name. I also assume most names are just fake.
Yeah, true. It seems like they've just done like all of the good things, all of the right things, except for they weren't sure when to tell the kids. So
yeah,
that's all blowing up in their face too. Like
it is, right? Because I'm sure now it's probably extra stressful on them, because like, what if the kids look at me and they start calling, like, well, say her name is Donna, and next thing you know, all the girls are just like, "Hey Donna," instead of "Hey Mom," like that would drive me crazy, because every time I think, like, I feel like kids calling their parents their first name is a weird thing.
Yeah,
just
Fish does that, by the way.
Does he really? That's so funny, dude. Dude, every time I hear a Tom Segura story, he goes, like, his kids call him Tom. And he's like, they're like, his 6-year-old is like, "Hey Tom," and like that's how he talks. Apparently, he just has like this deep fucking like cigarette smoking voice, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Like he's passing him in the corporate hallway. Like, "Hey Tom,
hey Tom,
some coffee."
Yeah, dude, which is crazy. And I was like, all right, but like, fair enough. But yeah, so I find it very fascinating. But I think she's not the asshole.
No.
I was like, there's no way. Do you have any more thoughts on this one?
No, I don't think so. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
definitely not the asshole. She's
definitely not.
She's clear.
Yeah, she's clear. She's clean. Our next
stamp
it down. Our next story. Am I the asshole for not giving my dad's cabin to my stepbrother because he's, in parentheses, going through a rough time? So my 28, their 28 female dad, or 28 male dad, passed away last year and left me his cabin in the woods. It's a pretty simple place, nothing fancy, just a small cabin, like 2 hours from where I live now, where we used to go there all the time growing up. Just the two of us. He built most of it himself and left it to me in his will. My mom remarried when I was 15 to this guy, Ken. He has a son, Luke, 31. Luke and I never really got along. He was always kind of smug and made fun of my dad for being quiet and off the grid. But my dad kept his distance, and Luke never came with us to the cabin. He actively hated going outside, and once called my dad a hermit with a hammer. Anyway, now Luke's having a rough time. He's lost his job. His fiance left him. He's currently living with my mom and Ken, which sucks, and I feel for him. But now my mom is asking me to consider giving Luke the cabin. Not loaning, giving. Her words were, "He needs it more than you. You hardly go there, and he's trying to rebuild his life. It could give him a fresh start." I honestly thought she was joking, and I told her flat out, no, the cabin is mine. It was Dad's. Luke didn't even like him. Then Ken got involved and said I was being heartless. Luke texted me basically saying, "I'll take it off your hands if it's too much responsibility," like he's doing me a favor. Now they're acting like I'm a greedy monster. Mom won't speak to me unless I reconsider. Luke made me a super passive-aggressive post about how some people only value property more than healing. I don't think I'm wrong, but the guilt tripping is intense. Am I the asshole? Or what?
No, not at all. And it's crazy that the mom's on the stepson's side.
That's crazy, bro.
He has no ties to this guy. He's made fun of him his entire life. And it's not like he's homeless. He's staying with the mom and his dad. And there's nothing back on your own feet by yourself. You don't need the cabin that's apparently away from everything else.
Yeah,
how's that gonna help you anyway?
You're a big boy. Time to,
unless he just sells it.
Yeah, that's probably what he'd end up doing. You know what I mean?
Probably.
He'd probably be like, "Oh, I need some money because I don't have a job. I'll sell this fucking this shitty cabin." Blah blah blah. He's always talking down on it, and it's like, what is your deal, dude? And first of all, I like you said, I am blown away that the mom is like,
yeah, what?
Like it's one thing that it's like you can be like, hey, like what are your thoughts on this? It's another thing to be like, you should do this. It's like, no, you first of all, fuck off. It's my cabin that me and Dad are always hanging out in. Like it was like that was our thing, and it's like it's
right.
It's one of those things that like their their dad passed away last year. It's like, dude, this is like the last this is like the most important.
All she has of his dad.
Yeah,
dad.
That's got to be like the most important piece of this puzzle, right? Like if she wants to go out in the woods and just be like be reminiscent on the times of her and her dad.
I'm confident no one in the comments is telling her she's the asshole, and she should let this sit here for a week and then take the results to her mom.
Dude, literally, and just be like, you guys are idiots, and then just boom. And there's like
the internet agrees, so here you go.
Internet agrees, suck my farts, because like you guys are completely blowing this out of proportion, which is ridiculous. I
can't believe it.
I feel like the forcing of the attempted to kind of be like you said, like not, it's like super passive aggressive, be like, he's going through a hard time. Okay. We all have gone through hard times, man.
People
like
go through hard stuff all the time, man.
It's how you get up is what defines you, man. So I feel like Athena is saying in the chat, the gaslighting, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
the gaslighting by the mom and the passive aggressive comment.
Yeah, it's like
by Luke at that point is just it's diabolical.
Like the gaslighting, like I'll take it off your hands if it's too much responsibility. Brother, what? It's at no point has ever been a burden.
Also, as not to get like emotional or something, but like as someone that's lost a parent, like for the mom not to speak to her daughter over this, that's got to be rough for the daughter. Like,
which is crazy, right?
Because you only have one left at that point.
Well, that's
and
just
she's not talking to you because of something that's ridiculous.
Because of something like that, like it's just utter bullshit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is criminal to me. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I feel like she's so she's so taken aback by, or like so like I don't want to say I don't even know if the stepdad has done any of this, or if she's just trying to, like, I don't know what's going through the mom's brain, but like if she's not going to speak to her, dude, that's like, at that point, would your mom just be dead to you at that point? You know what I mean? Like,
she did say Ken was being heartless.
Oh, okay.
Ken got involved.
Said I was being heartless.
I wonder if the mom doesn't actually think this, but it's like she's got Ken chirping in her ear at this point, and it's like, fine, I'll say something to her, and then she asked her to reconsider, and then that was the end of it. But
it's totally possible too, right?
Hopefully this doesn't ruin the relationship between her and her mom. That would be ridiculous for that to happen, and that's all the mom's fault at that point.
100%, right? Like, you can say no. You can be like, no, like, we're not doing this. We are, like, this is her. Like, this is very important to her. So, like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, like Reagan just said, it's not even his dad anyways. Like,
exactly. Not even
stamp this one 5 times, dude, not the asshole.
Dude, literally. The first comment, seriously, buy cameras as the next step. Or buy cameras as the next step will be your stepbrother moves in anyways and lies to the police telling him you gave him permission. Call the authorities ahead of time and or flat out tell your mom Luke will get his ass arrested if he tries to squat in the cabin. And as someone else mentioned, if you give it to him, he will just sell it. Dude, that's literally what we said.
Dude, I always forget people squat too. Like,
and squatting is like a crazy thing, bro.
Squatters' rights are crazy. Especially depending on what state they're in, or I don't even know if they're in America. But
to me, it's fascinating how they have so many. It's like you're trespassing 100% of the time. Like that is not okay.
No, I'd be livid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it. Like it's. I think that first comment is super on the money. Definitely get something.
Which is what we just said too. Like
literally. He might just try and just get there.
Sell it, yeah. Which is exactly what he would do. I have no doubts in my mind.
Not the asshole. Obviously, Luke is used to being bailed out of situations. That doesn't mean that you have to give up on your inheritance. It means something to you in more ways than he could ever imagine. Stand your ground, and I wish the best for you. Condolences about your dad. He gave you what he valued with love. So if I was in your shoes, no way in Hades would I give up that cabin. 100%.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I do not. I feel like, yeah, definitely not the asshole.
Luke's not losing anything here because he is, like I said, he's not homeless. He's living at his mom and dad's house.
Like exactly. He's not
mom and dad or whatever.
He's not homeless. Like he's, I know he lost his job, but it's not like they're gonna kick him out. At this point. So
just get a job, Luke. Just get another job, man.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if it's at McDonald's. It doesn't matter if you're a garbage guy. It does not matter because it's income. So like,
right, exactly.
So you like and don't get me wrong. I don't like this is obviously 8 days ago. I'm sure depending on your city, some jobs it could be harder to get some jobs than other places. But I don't know. I'd say just keep trying.
Why would you want to be bailed out anyway, man?
Well, that's just it. Then you don't learn anything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I always feel like
you'll be depressed every day if people just keep bailing you out. Like, work hard and take pride in what you do, and
absolutely,
like, get a job, Luke. Turn your life around, buddy.
You got this, buddy. For Luke's sake, I hope he figures it out. Our next topic.
Sucks his fiance left him though.
It does. I got to reload this real quick. Am I the asshole? My wife asked for it and then got upset when it happened. I'm 38 male, a wrestler. I used to compete at a high level. Obviously, I don't compete anymore, but I still lift weights and wrestle for fun. My wife, 36, and I have 3 kids, a 15-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son, and a 9-year-old daughter. I enrolled all our kids in wrestling at the age of 7. The older 2 have been training and competing since then. The youngest didn't like the sport, so she quit, and now she's doing gymnastics. My wife has never wrestled, but she goes to the gym regularly and has decent strength. Yesterday, I was chatting with my wife on the topic of our daughter's wrestling tournament coming up, and she asked me, what do I think will happen if her and our daughter wrestled? And I told her that she has no chance. She answered, she is not beating me, I'm much stronger. And I told her, you can try if you want, but I'm telling you, you will get ragdolled. And she said, okay, let's do this then. So I called our daughter into the backyard, and I told her that her mom wants to wrestle. They wrestled while me and the other kids were watching, and just like I told her, my wife got handled with ease. When they were done, it didn't last long. My wife laughed it off, acted fine, but as soon as it was only her and I, she said to me, so you knew how that wrestling match was going to go? I answered yes, and she said, and you still let it happen. I got embarrassed by my own child in front of my other children, and now they are not going to look at me the same way. I told her that she is the one who asked for it, and the idea that our kids will not look at her the same way is completely false because I taught our kids to be graceful and respectful in victory and defeat. And I'm pretty sure that they have respected their mother regardless of what happens in a wrestling match, even after I said she wasn't convinced and still upset, which is not justified in my opinion.
What does she mean not look at her the same way? Like,
so like,
she get punked in the middle of a jail yard?
Like, I feel like she might think her kids look at her like weak and inferior or something like that, which is like, dude, it's your mom.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like they're not going to look any different than, it's not going to be any different than the next day or the day before. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be like, hey mom, like, you think that I would, if I wrestled my mom and if I were to wrestle my mom, I would probably defeat her unless she, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, dude, my mom's so weak. Like, right. Are you kidding me? Like, it's my mom. Like,
so the husband wrote this and is asking if he's the asshole because he let it happen?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but she was so confident in her ability to be like, I can take our daughter, like in a wrestling match. And it's like, dude, she's training. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, why would the mom even think she's able to compete?
Well, I feel like it's just on a technical level. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. She could be stronger. But like,
yeah, she could be, but
like, if you do jujitsu and I don't, and I think I can out wrestle you, like that's a joke. You know what I mean? Like there's just no way it's happening.
That would be like Eddie Hall going against like Khabib or something. Like Eddie Hall's going to get destroyed.
100%.
Doesn't matter how much bigger he is. Also, if this is the 15-year-old she wrestled?
I believe so. It just says,
I mean, she's pretty much grown at that point anyway. So
this is the topic of our daughter's wrestling tournament. So that's why I believe it's the older one. Oh yeah, because she said the youngest one doesn't do it. So yeah, it is. Yes.
So this is just additional information. Like I wrestled in high school, and I only wrestled my last 2 years of high school because I wanted better hand fighting for football.
Yeah,
and that's a great way to learn it.
Makes sense.
Those dudes are just walls of muscle at that point. And I'm sure women's wrestling is not any different because, you only wrestle for 3-minute rounds, but like you were using every bit of your body to get leverage. Just like you said, the technical skill, like if she's never wrestled before, there's no way she's winning a wrestling match.
Dude, there's no way, right? Like she
might be able to outlift her, like you said, but yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. And it's like, I always, I watch a lot of UFC, and it's like, I know nothing about ground game. So for me, it's boring, but I know on a technical level, there's so much going on that like, if anyone with any ability to do any sort of ground game, I'm cooked. Like I am not winning. And it's like, so I could be I could be Larry Wheels in terms of strength. I'm still getting manhandled. I'm getting you could be Bradley fucking Martin, and your sheer strength is not going to be enough.
Which he's talked about that on his podcast.
He has.
Before. I saw that
in between dealing drugs.
Yeah. No, he I only wrestled for 2 years, like I said, and this was at least, God, how long have I been out of high school? 15 years. And I still remember all of the little intricacies, like, you got to get your hip out, you got to get your head in this position. If you really want to lock somebody up, you got to do it a specific way that it won't break. Like, in the movies, a lot of people think you lock up like this. Yeah. It's like this. You try to pull that apart, like, dude, you're not pulling that apart.
It is. I feel like...
Yeah, that's insane. That's so dumb that
I feel like the mom's
he's even having to write this post.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the mom's blowing it so out of proportion that it's like, hey bro, like, you're okay. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, at some point, like you said, like her daughter's been training since she was 7. Like, that's 8 years, it's like 8 years of fucking training. And so she's going to have the technical situation going down.
And I'm sure her dad has like taught her pointers throughout the 8 years too.
Well, that's just it. Like he used to compete at a high level, he said. So it's like,
he's definitely not the asshole here.
No, I don't think so either.
Mom's ego got hurt, and that's
I think she's just being a little butthurt about it, which, you know what, like, don't get me wrong, totally fair. But at the same time, like, how can I respect that she played it off in front of the kids, but I'm also same time like bothered that the fact that she's just like, you knew that was gonna happen, and it's like, I told you, like, I straight up told you, you can try if you want, but I'm telling you, you're gonna get ragdolled, and that's exactly what happened. So it's like, chill.
Not look at me the same way is what's throwing me for a loop,
dude. Like, it's crazy, bro. I
don't understand that.
Like, it's like, what do you mean not? Like, I don't understand. Like, the authoritative respect is gone. It's like, no. It's still your mom. Like, it's still like, nothing's changed. Like, you are now not mom after you defeat mom. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, it's not like this isn't like Wakanda where you defeat the king and then become king, right? Like,
you become Black Panther.
Yeah, you become Black Panther. Like, dude, you just beat your mom, and guess what? She'll probably kick your ass in Scrabble or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other things that she can beat, like, that there's possibilities. So it's like, your kids are going to be better than you at other things than you are. It's just a fact of life.
Challenge her to something else, like a lifting competition. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, let's see who can bench the most. Like, obviously, you're going to be able to probably bench more than your daughter. You know what I mean? Like, but you never know. Maybe her daughter is just an absolute unit with it when it comes to genetics, and she can just bench 3 plates. I don't know.
So I played football for 12 years of my life, and my my dad was a coach for like my little league time and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And we used to do like drills in the backyard where he would take it easy on me and I'd be like, no, do it for real. Cause I want to see if I can take you on. He would bust my ass for like the first, I don't know, 8 years. And then that one year I finally got it over on him where I was able to like knock him down. It was at the point where he goes, and there was like no lost respect that I had for my dad because I could put him on his butt as a football player.
100%, right?
It's just ridiculous.
Like exactly. Like if I was able to take my dad to the ground, it's not like I'm like, yo, I it's like one of those things. Like it's literally not going to change anything. You're still my dad. You're still probably kicking my ass 9 out of 10 times if he needs to. You know what I mean? Like. So
I'd pick you up off the ground and get some water or something. Like,
yeah,
good match.
Yeah. The conversation, not the asshole, but your wife might want to look into a few therapy sessions to deal with her authority/hierarchy issues in a more healthy way. As the kids get older, the I'm in charge because I'm bigger, stronger, better at everything/adult attitude gets less and less helpful. And having a big chip on your shoulder instead of working with kids who should be getting more independent gets more and more counterproductive. Someone with some outside perspective and experience with reframing conflicts like that might be a big help when it comes to higher stakes than a backyard wrestling match.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean,
it is.
It did seem like the wife just wanted to seem like she was bigger, stronger, better, and then she got humbled.
Literally, like even Athena.
She has to blame somebody but herself.
Literally, and even Athena said she needs therapy. Something else is going on there, and like so. Yeah. I agree. You know. I'm in charge. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, the attitude is trash even towards toddlers. That was how I first learned I couldn't trust my parents at all before I had even started first grade. They thought hierarchy made them out automatically right/better when they were clearly more incompetent in most fields and they claimed they're superior in. I mean, like, fair enough, right? Like, it's just one of those things that, like you said, not the asshole, and there's some sort of complex going up in there that she's like, I need to be top dog, you know?
Yeah, this one was also 8 days ago, so hopefully he...
Oh, dang, the consistency is crazy.
Vindication that he can show his wife the comments and be like, see, maybe he doesn't want to do that, though.
Exactly, man, exactly.
If she has those issues anyway.
Our next one. Am I the asshole for speaking Italian to my girlfriend's rude Italian-American family and embarrassing them? So, here, let me just scroll there. There have been some confusion to my girlfriend's reactions. She was ashamed her family dug so deep into me and not about my response. Okay, we'll come back to that after. So, backstory. Due to my dad's job, we lived in Italy for 3 years when I was younger, so I speak Italian almost fluently. It's been a while since I lost some. So recently I started dating a girl. She's great, and I love her so much. I met her family a few nights ago for dinner. She warned me that the male side of her family is very big into being macho, into testing the boys the women date, and are very big on taking pride in their Italian ancestry. I think besides the grandfather, however, they were almost all born in Bergen County, New Jersey, but whatever, it's nice to take pride in one's heritage. Long story short, at dinner, they kept making jokes at my expense. I honestly would not call it bullying, just things about my height, beard, shaved head. They tried making fun of my IT job too, but stopped once I told them my income. It was overall not a bad experience, but a not so pleasant one. Anyways, her older brother kept pushing things, giving me exceptional amounts of shit for playing lacrosse in high school. Apparently it's a sport for rich, prissy kids, and not a manly sport like football or baseball. He ended his rant by saying, hey, we're just a big Italian family. We're loud and we just tell it how it is. And then they start laughing. All my family laughed except my girlfriend. So I, for the next minute, responded to everything they said in Italian. My girlfriend buried her head in shame. The grandfather laughed, and everyone else kept looking at each other confused before telling me they didn't speak Italian. I replied, then don't use your Italian heritage as an excuse to behave poorly when you can't even speak the language. They got mad, but the grandfather told them all I was right and to be quiet. My girlfriend isn't mad, just ashamed. I think the grandfather likes me, but word from my girlfriend's sister is that all the men are furious. Think I'm a smartass and that I disrespected them and their masculinity in an unforgivable way. So am I the asshole?
So I had to laugh throughout this whole thing, right? Like, this is so Fish, who's on the podcast with me, and you met him a couple weeks ago.
Fish is great. I love Fish.
He's Italian. His entire family is like this. It's just, I think he took it the wrong way. Like, because it is a true thing, especially East Coast people. Like, it is more worrisome if they don't make fun of you to treat you like you're one of the people.
Right.
At least that's been my experience with Fish specifically. Like, and you think about like all the, and now, yeah, it's movies and TV about Italian people, but like, you think about all the movies and TV that you've seen about like people from the East Coast, not even Italian specifically, but maybe movies based in Boston. It's all that's how that culture is up there. It's all razzing people. It's all,
oh yeah,
being funny. So I think he kind of is the asshole here. Cause
okay.
I mean, if they're that, like, Italian people are very proud.
Oh, for sure.
Fish is one of those people. And like,
look at when I think of Italians, I think of things like Jersey Shore. I think of things like like The Sopranos and shit like that. Like,
yes, yeah,
they like Italians are like super proud to be Italian.
Yes. Yeah, and like, we are speaking on stereotypes here a little bit. So
a little bit, yes.
If someone is Italian, I apologize if I'm speaking out of turn here. But in my experience with my friends who are Italian and also from the East Coast, this is very much they're trying. Is this the first time that they met? Is that what I'm understanding?
So a few minutes ago, yeah, I met her family a few minutes ago for dinner, and then she just warned them. So like that was the first time meeting at the dinner.
Yes. So this is almost like a scene out of a movie to me. Like,
it almost seems like it, right?
They are putting on a show. They're going to razz you. They're going to mess with you. That's what they do. Like,
they want to see if you
and the family are going to do.
They want to see if you can,
take the heat.
Take the heat and keep up. In
a way he did.
I was going to say, in a way he did, though, because he came back at him. But it's unfortunate that they got so upset about it.
Yeah, I think he would have been fine if he didn't do the Italian thing at the end, like. Yeah,
which is totally fair. I do think it's really funny that the grandfather enjoyed it.
Thinks it's funny,
because I feel like, if anyone's gonna be like, no, that's a good kid, it's gonna be that guy. And then he's gonna be like, you all shut up, you behave.
Like, he's standing up for himself.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just standing up for himself. But at the same time, I'm sure like the energy in that house is probably awesome. Like you said, like it's. When you're with your boys, it's essentially, it's like when you're hanging out with your friends. Like when you're with the guys, you're chirping each other day and night. Yeah. Doesn't matter, and it's just part of the rapport. Like,
right.
And it's like one of those things of like, people coming in, like you said, like she was dating him, so she's like, I want you guys to meet my boyfriend. Excuse me, and it was just like, it's one of those things, and I bet you they're amazing. I bet you they're such caring and good people. At the end of the day,
yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about before the podcast. Like, not to keep going back to my buddy Fish, but
no, but it's a great example.
He is an abrasive asshole, but he's our abrasive asshole.
That's right. Like, and it's
that if anybody else said something bad to us, he would be there.
He'd be there in a heartbeat
to back you up, to make sure you're okay. Like. And that's the vibe I'm getting from the family. Like, we will razz each other, we'll be funny with each other, but if somebody else razzes anybody in the family, they're gonna get it. Like,
yeah.
So I think they were just trying to welcome him in their own way, but
yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it might have been like it might have been a lot for him, because I mean, I'm sure like like the way they described it, this Italian family really brings a big welcome punch. And like Haley's saying in the chat here, I think it's just a matter of difference in personalities / upbringings. which it more likely is, right? Like, it's just they're so used to, like, you know, like they're picking you always, you know, find the stupidest things to, you know, they're always just throwing shit for no reason. Like, you always pick the worst pancake, that's why I let you go first. And it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Right. But, like, you know, like, it's just shit like that. And so, like, I do think I agree with you in a way. I do think he is kind of the asshole. But, like, at the same time, I don't think he's an asshole for kind of sticking up for himself, you know?
I'm sure it'll be mended. Like, I'm sure it'll be something redeeming, and
yeah, they'll play like the family like football game or whatever, you know, like meatball making contest or something. No, I'm just
I know, this entire time when you were reading, I'm like, this is like quintessential, like the youngest sibling is the only daughter. She's finally bringing a guy
literally,
home.
Dude, like, it's
and
like
all the brothers are sitting around, and it's just like,
and they're like all like they're a bunch of like, you know, meatheads. They're just like super big guys, right? They're like, so you're dating my sister, huh? And you know, just huh. And then that, you know, like it's and then, you know, dinner starts coming and they all start like throwing jabs and all learning about him, and then they, you know, they all put you see that he's a lacrosse guy. And like they just start roasting him, and he's just sitting there like he's just gonna take it, right? So funny.
You just gotta take it at that point.
Yeah,
it'll all work out. You'll be okay.
I think so, right? Like I feel like there's such like I've seen a couple comments saying like a couple people in the chat saying like they dated Italian people, but they miss the family. They don't miss the person they were with. And that, to me, that just speaks that like the family is just so welcoming, and like at the same time they're so like, you know, you are part of the family from the moment you step in that door. When you know you're dating this person, you're family, and that's very Vin Diesel, and I love it. The comment
first in that movie in Italian, so
exactly right. Like, look at that. First comment said, "Lol, not the asshole. The granddad knows it. He probably half rolls his eyes every time they say that they're Italian when he knows he's the last speaker. You shut them down in the most epic / appropriate way possible. Your girlfriend should be proud, flaunting that her boyfriend is more Italian than any of them. Pure savagery from what you did and said. Golden, totally won your heart of your GF's grandfather. And you and your girlfriend are lucky to have each other. Not the asshole, sending good vibes."
Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying. Like, we said he's the asshole a little bit. Like, he's not a complete blatant horrible person, but
yeah, like like I don't.
That final comment just probably took it a little bit too far.
Yeah, I think so.
They're probably very proud of, you know, their grandfather and all that stuff. And
100%, which I think is I don't think it's a bad thing by any means. You know, like I feel like it's, you know, there's nothing wrong with being proud. So
that was a good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I like that one too. I thought it was good. We got one more for the night.
Oh, we got a whole other one?
Yeah, we got one last one. Is that all right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The last one here. Am I the asshole for giving my daughters 1 week to leave my house after what they did to their half-brother? I have two daughters, both over 20. They graduated college and moved back in with me because they couldn't find a job. The house is my late husband's house, Robert. For context, their dad and I got divorced 9 years ago. I got remarried to Robert, and had my 7-year-old son, Tom. The girls didn't have a good relationship with Robert. In fact, they hated him because of what their dad filled their heads about him. They lived with their dad. They chose to before going off to college. Robert passed away 6 months ago after a long battle with disease. It's just me and my son, Tom. The girl's dad got remarried last year, and the woman is basically a witch. That's why the girls stopped visiting there. They lived in a rental apartment during college, and their dad used to pay for the rent, but stopped after his wife fought with them. The girls couldn't get a job to pay for rent and asked if they could move in with me and Tom for a while. I, of course, said yes, although I knew how they felt about Tom. They moved in, and they were nice to Tom, but also distant. 2 days ago, I had an expected call, and I needed to leave the house. Tom was in bed all day because he was sick, and I asked the girls to look after him for 2 hours till I got back. I left quickly, and then an hour later, I got a text from Tom asking me to come home because he threw up again in his room. He said he called for his sisters to help, but no one responded. I immediately tried to call them, but both lines were busy. I did my best to come home earlier, thinking the girls weren't home, but turned out they were. One was downstairs the entire time. The other said she was using kitchen appliances. That's why she couldn't hear Tom. I was going to believe it till Tom said he tried to text them, but they didn't respond. I checked their phones after they tried to deny it. He was right. His message was read, but no response. I blew up at them and called them pathetic. They argued that I was making them act like they are the parent and placing responsibility on them. I knew this wasn't about that. They hated Robert. Fine. That might be a little understandable, but Tom is a kid and he has no part in all of this to be treated like that. I knew they neglected him on purpose, so I told them they have 1 week to move out, and they started arguing and even crying, saying I'm being too harsh on them and acting worse than their dad's new wife. I said it wasn't up for discussion, and now both of them are giving me the silent treatment, basically making me feel guilty about the whole thing. Maybe I've made the wrong decision, but seeing how they've neglected their brother merely out of resentment and hate makes me feel upset and quite concerned about what they have around them.
So the mom's asking if she's the asshole for throwing them out.
Yes.
Yeah, she's definitely not. The daughters are the assholes here.
100%.
Like, your mom and her new husband have opened their home for you to stay there because you're unable to find a job and pay for your own rent. Your half brother at that point is sick. He's 7 years old. He needs someone to look after him.
He's 7 years old. He's not 22. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like just look after the kid. The kid's not his dad. Also, the dad seems like a decent person, but
the real dad is married to a terrible.
Fed him with lies.
Real dad fed him with lies, but then he's also married to a terrible woman now, and then her new husband had passed away from disease, so it's just her and the kid.
Yeah,
but for her mom to be so open and be like, of course, my home is your home, and for her to be like, I'm gone for 2 hours, please, he's sick, just make sure he's okay. And then for them,
that kid's been through a lot in the past half year.
Yeah,
I mean, to lose your dad at 7,
that sucks, man. I couldn't imagine what that's like, and I
have some empathy.
Yeah. Like Haley said, the text being read and no response is crazy. Like, your younger brother just goes, I threw up, I am not feeling good, and they're just like, they just look at it, read it, and then go, all right, back to The Price is Right, or whatever the fuck they're watching on TV.
Back to my kitchen appliances.
Yeah, what appliances are you using? There ain't no way you're using a blender, you're probably looking at your phone. You're doing something, you're probably looking at your phone in the meantime.
Also, how long do you use a blender for that you can't hear a kid yell twice?
Oh, that's just it. And I'm pretty sure that kid could probably, if there was a blender as an example, the kid could probably hear the blender going and would wait for it to stop. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I don't think her mom's the asshole. The girls are over 20. The girls are over 20 years old. It's time to start, acting a little more like adults here.
Yeah, and to be so financially too, so now it's a single mom with one kid.
Yeah.
They probably have medical bills from the dad's
passing it, or from the and
from the fighting of the disease.
Absolutely.
So 2 more mouths to feed if they're not going to help, which they didn't help. They've clearly showed that. She is right to kick them out.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with that. King Kong,
the witch, then.
Right?
That's what she said.
They described him as, right? King Kong said, not the asshole. The girls are adults in someone else's home. Exactly, right?
Definitely.
The girls have chosen to live with their father in the meantime, from that point. And, it's unfortunate that their dad filled their heads with, bad things about Robert. Yeah. But at the same time, it's that's still your half brother,
Athena said he's a baby. He's a baby.
The hardest decision
he doesn't know how to take care of himself.
The hardest decision is he going to use Beyblades or Bakugan? You know what I mean? He's just a kid. So it's fuck, so man.
SpongeBob or Dragon Ball Z right now.
Literally, bro. It's just one of those things. You're like, are you kidding me? You couldn't have done that. Come on now. But
that's messed up.
It is. The first comment: as a mom of a blended family, I will say this: they are adults. He's a child. If they would like to act immature, high schoolers that they can role play somewhere else. Your son is a minor. He is not a priority, or he is a priority. Sorry, not adult women who need to grow up.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, like if your daughters resent your late husband, fine, he's gone. But taking it out on the innocent kid crosses a line. What's to stop them from ignoring or belittling him again when you're not around? You're setting a boundary and protecting your son's well-being. That's your job as a mom.
And how far does it go, too? Like,
well, that's just it, right?
What if the kid got stuck under something? Like maybe a dresser dropped on him?
Yeah.
Do they just leave him there? Like,
well, that's just it, right? So, like, your mom, not an asshole.
Throw him out.
You got a week. Honestly, that's very gracious that you gave him a week.
Yeah, definitely. And she seems like a loving mom, so she's probably gonna go back on it too.
Probably, like
they're her kids too. So
right, like she just wants them to all of them to be safe, healthy, happy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you said, like if something serious happens to Tom, like you said, like what if he was playing with scissors, cut himself, and then he was like, I need help, or or like you said, knocked himself out, got trapped somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's so many
many variables.
Too many variables, yes, thank you.
Especially because does she work? Is that what she said? She had to call? She had to leave the house? Yeah.
Tom was in bed. I asked the girls to look out. Yeah, I had expected a call and needed to leave the house. Yeah. So she just had to,
they knew she was leaving too.
Oh, 100%. Like it wasn't like she didn't just walk out the door. She's like, girls, I'm leaving the house for a couple hours. I need to take care of this. Please look after your son, your brother.
2 hours? You can't.
That's what I mean. Like
nice for 2 hours.
Like it's not like she's asking you to take care of him for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like she just
for 16 and then come back into
exactly for 16 years and then come back and demand that you take your son back, right? Like, so I think that's crazy.
Full circle.
Isn't that awesome? But yeah, so that on the last one, she's not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Stamp it.
Stamp it, baby.
Koryzma approved.
Koryzma approved. So Nardy, hope you enjoyed the "Am I the Asshole" moments. But now,
absolutely, that was fun.
It was. Now we play a game with our guest every. Actually, I need to add that for 1 second. Play a game with our guest every time. I'm also gonna I gotta just close my thing for 1 second because I don't want you to see it yet.
You're not gonna test my trivia, are you?
I can't tell you anything, Nardy. I can't.
Because I don't know anything about anything.
You know more than the average Joe, buddy. Okay?
We'll see.
We'll see. So Nardy, we play a game we play a game with our guest every show, and we try to make it fun, we try to make it awesome, and so without a doubt, Nardy, I hope you're ready for Nardy's football school, buddy.
I'm ready.
You are the football guy. When I think of football, you're the guy who has definitely knows more about football than I ever will. And I'm excited, man. How you feeling?
Well, with the hype, I hope I ace this, whatever it is.
So. Dude, I think you'll do pretty good. I hope this is fun. I was like brainstorming these things. And I was like, man, is this gonna be too easy? Like I never want to make it too easy. I want you guys to struggle at least a little bit.
No, I'm excited.
All right, man. Fun. So here we go. So Nardy, what team is this?
I'll show you.
He's locked and loaded, ladies and gentlemen.
Cleveland Browns.
It is the Cleveland Browns.
Brownie the elf right there.
Brownie the elf. I like it.
Just a crazy mascot.
Yeah. Now, is their mascot still the elf?
They have a elf, a dog, and a helmet as the mascot. So
elf, a dog. Oh, interesting. Okay.
There's a dog and a elf mascot suits when you go to the games.
Gotcha. Okay.
Funny story.
Yeah.
Cleveland, very Rust Belt city, very much a town that is, hardworking blue collar individuals. They came out with the dog when they came back to Cleveland.
Okay.
And they said, here's our mascot. We're going to do fan voting where you can name him. They left a spot for people to write in a vote.
That's hilarious.
And I believe, if my dad told me this story, I believe if I remember correctly, the mascot's name came back as Boner. Boner the dog, because dog bones are very big in Cleveland.
That's
if I had mine that's not blocked by all my moving boxes, I would show you mine. But we have the dog pound. It's just a bunch of dudes wearing skeleton stuff, like dog bones, all that stuff.
And so, Boner comes running out of the whatever the archway, like the rest of the team. They're all fired up.
They made the decision to go with the second pick, and that was Chomps. They went away with Boner.
Damn,
probably
dude,
pretty smart.
It is smart, but it's like at the same time, you're like, damn, man, you done us dirty.
Yeah. My dad could have made that up on either, right? I don't know. I like to think that that's true.
You know, I believe it. The next one. Which two teams have the most Super Bowl wins? Is it A, 49ers and Cowboys, B, Patriots and Steelers, C, Giants and Packers, or D, Chiefs and Broncos?
It is unfortunately B. And I say unfortunately because the Steelers are the Browns' rivals.
Fair enough. And you would be. You want to lock that in?
I'm locking it in, dude.
And you would be correct. It is the Patriots and the Steelers, dude. 6 each. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy, yeah. And Tom's got all 6 of them.
Tom has all 6 of them. It's crazy, man. Our next one. What team is this?
That is this NFL or college?
It's all NFL, just to make it easy.
Okay, that is the retro logo for the 49ers. I do believe.
You want to lock that in?
Yes. I'm almost positive.
And the answer is the 49ers. It's the retro logo. Dude, this guy, easy for this man.
They should bring that logo back. But
it's a cool logo, dude. Like when I was
guns.
Oh man, like I like the energy. It kind of gives me like, you know, that Looney Tune guy, like was it Sam? Yosemite Sam? Yeah, it kind of gives me that energy, and I was like, that's so cool.
This guy's mustache is great,
dude. It is, dude. He's got it all. So the next question: when did Marshawn Lynch get drafted? Is it A, 2007, B, 2006, C, 2008, or D, 2005?
I'm going to have to think on this one.
Oh, yeah.
So he came out from Cal with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat a couple years because Brett Favre still played. Brett Favre left the Packers in... Man, this is tough. This is a tough one. I think it's 2006.
2006, you want to lock that in?
But I'm like 25% sure.
You want to change it, or is this what you're going to go with?
We'll lock... Man, do I want to keep that? Yeah, we'll keep 2006.
You keep
it's probably wrong, but...
All right, man. And the answer. 2007. Damn. You're right there.
So close.
So close, bro. It's okay. It's okay. I gotta test your trivia, man. I got it because I know some.
I'm not looking at chat.
No, I trust you, brother. I trust you. All right, the next one. What team is this?
That is my. Oh, is this a trick question? This is a trick question. This is the Baltimore Colts. Technically. I'm
gonna be honest. You want to lock that in? I can't remember what I wrote in the next slide, but
it's either Baltimore or Indianapolis Colts. It's one of those.
Okay.
Two. But I think it's Baltimore Colts.
Okay.
Because they used to be over there.
Oh, interesting. Okay. The answer, Indianapolis. But okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you because like I was like I didn't even know they were in Baltimore. This is what
you're trying to trip me up.
No. I am the last thing I want to do is I don't want to stump you with just general knowledge. If it would have said Baltimore, I would have wrote Baltimore though. That would have been so that you would have had me there. I didn't even know there was both. So that's so funny.
Old school logos were so much better than.
Dude, they go so hard, dude. Like I always notice when certain logos on companies that go for like a more modern look, half of them look stupid, in my personal opinion, and I'm like, just give us the old one, man.
Like Jaguar.
Yeah,
they just redid their logo. It looks horrible. Like
my one thing about PlayStation, they've kept it the same forever.
Yes.
Aside from like maybe the font.
Yeah, the PS is iconic, and
exactly, man.
You can't get rid of that.
Our next question. What pick was Tom Brady in the 2000 draft? Was he A, first, B, 25th, C, 199th, or D, 175th?
He was 199.
You want to lock that in?
Locking it in. Tom Brady.
He was actually, he was 199, which is crazy because like that's like cresting like the end of the draft, is it not?
Yeah, I think back in 2000 there was 8 rounds, but yeah, there's 7 rounds now, and I think the last pick is like 240 something. So yeah,
that's crazy.
Pretty close to the end.
Yeah, dude.
I've watched a lot of Tom Brady documentaries. He's kind of in the same vein as Kobe, like just
100%
all around great. And he played till he was 45,
which I think Kobe did from like 19 to 40 or something like that. Yeah, so
crazy. Like
and they were still doing better than the young bucks coming in. You know what I mean? Or like on par.
Yeah. And he was elite for a long time.
Absolutely. And the fact that he's
lucky enough to see him play in person.
That's cool. Was he just when you went up against the Browns?
Yeah, so my dad and I went up to a game, and he was with the Buccaneers, so it was one of his last couple years, and I got to see him play, and I also got to see him lose, so that was cool.
That's a good day, baby. That's a good day.
Yep, it was a good day.
Our next one. What team is this?
Oh, man. That is the New York Giants?
You want to lock that in?
Kind of too on the nose because he's a Giant? Yeah, I'm going to lock that in.
All right. Our answer? New York Giants, man. You had it.
These old logos are so much better.
Dude, they look so cool, dude. Like, it totally goes.
A retro hat.
Yeah, man.
So much better.
Our next one. Which NFL stadium is the largest? Is it A, Lambeau Field, B, AT&T Stadium, C, Arrowhead Stadium, or D, MetLife Stadium?
So Lambeau, it's not Lambeau. It's not Lambeau. Jerry World is where I'm leaning. That's AT&T Stadium.
Gotcha.
But MetLife is newer. So I feel like if they make a stadium, they're going to try and make it bigger, but I think I have to go with AT&T Stadium. It's
AT&T?
That was my first gut reaction, and I think I'm going to go with that one.
All right. And the answer is MetLife. It beats AT&T Stadium by 2,500.
Wow.
Yeah. So AT&T.
I didn't even realize Lambeau was that big.
Yeah, 81.4 thousand people can fit in that stadium apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Which is kind of crazy. I like it, and they're so close, dude. Like they're all like right there except for Arrowhead.
Yeah, Arrowhead's definitely the smaller one.
Which is still a lot of people though. 76,000 seats is still crazy to me.
And Arrowhead's very loud. Apparently, they just all the sound stays in the stadium.
Interesting. Okay.
I should have went with MetLife.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You trusted your gut. Which team is this?
It's the Winking Pirate, man. It's the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
Another great classic logo.
Yeah, you want to lock that in?
Yep.
Okay. It is the Tampa Bay Bucks. Easy.
Their jerseys used to be that orange color.
Oh, okay.
With white pants, and they called them the creamsicles.
Oh, I like, dude, creamsicles though. goated popsicle.
They still bring them out every once in a while, so that's a good logo too, man.
It is, man. I always loved it. Like in NHL, like I know like the Canucks, they always rock like a retro jersey once in a while.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is so cool, man. Like bring it back for football.
See, the Browns have always, except for a couple years in there, have always had the same exact scheme.
Gotcha.
It's the orange helmet with the line in the middle and just the brown jersey.
I like it.
It's classic, but yeah, these old logos, man, they just bring back so many good memories.
As they should, man. As they should.
And the old school football games on PlayStation and 64, all that stuff.
Yeah, man. Isn't it crazy? Like just
they need to bring them back.
They do, man. They do. Like they bring back Blitz the League, please.
Yeah.
Dude, that game is so much fun.
Let me shoot up steroids on the side of the sideline, please.
Let me shoot up rabies. Let me go crazy. Our next one. How many games are in an NFL season? A, 17, B, 18, C, 16, or D, 20?
A, 17.
I feel like that one. I feel like when I was typing this question, I'm like, this one might be too easy for the fella.
Yeah, there's just all the games matter, so they're easier to keep track of. Like
yeah.
Baseball or
and the answer
even hockey. Yep,
is 17. Easy, dude. Yeah, I don't blame you because like basketball, there's like fucking 80 games. Hockey,
yeah,
like it's insane. Like you just at least you're like your team. Like my guys play 17 times before the Super Bowl or before playoffs, I guess.
You lose 6-7 games, you might not make the playoffs.
That's crazy, dude. Like I mean, like that just shows every game matters.
Every game matters so much. That's why a lot of people love the NFL.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like you were talking about on the podcast. You space them out.
Space them out, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Space out the games, space out the streams.
Exactly, man. It's all about consistency, but not too much. Like not too much quantity.
Right.
Yeah. I think. Oh, there we go. Okay, I do have another one. Perfect. How many career rushing yards does Frank Gore have? Is it A, 16,726, B, 18,355, C, 15,269, nice, and D, 16,000?
This guy played forever. He played so long that his son came in the year after he retired.
No way. Dude, he was so close to being LeBron James playing with his son.
Right, exactly. Frank Gore Jr. came in the year after he retired. Just on sheer volume alone, I want to go with A because I think B is Emmitt Smith.
Gotcha.
Which is the league leader in history. But yeah, I think I'm going to lock in A.
A, deal. The answer? D, 16,000 on the dot is what a crazy number too. Like it's not like 1601, 1598.
Don't give me any more carries. I'm out.
Yeah, that's right. Like, stop me here. It's even. It's clean.
I'm hanging my hat on that. So,
I think that was the last one. Yes, it was. So, Nardy, I'm not gonna lie though, bro. You did really good.
Those were good questions. I definitely got tripped up on a couple of the numbers ones, but yeah, that was fun. It was a good time.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it because I know how much you love football, and I know it's like when people love football, it's like that's their thing.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like Toby loving the Leafs, you loving the Browns, my buddy Cody or Phantom Cook loving the Blue Jays. You know, or McKenna, the big dog McKenna, her dad loves the Rams.
Okay.
He's a big Rams guy. I don't know, I couldn't tell you why, but they love him there.
I used to like the Rams too.
Oh yeah,
way
okay.
Back in the day. Yeah. So
I like it. Well, Nardy, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show, bro.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Of course. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitch at NardyGG. I don't really stream there as much because I'm moving right now, but my friends and I also have the podcast that Braden's been on, and it's called Gametime Gents, and it's on YouTube and Spotify. So
it's a great time. I had so much fun when I was there, dude. Like I loved shooting the shit with Zoltowski and Fish and you, and it was just it just felt like, even though like I never really talked to you guys like in person too much, it felt like I was already part of the team. You know what I mean? Like just the way that we were going back and forth. It was a good time, man.
No, we definitely want to have you back on eventually. So
yeah, dude,
we're excited to do that.
Absolutely, dude. I'm always so excited. I loved just sitting there and just having a good bullshit and just, dude, we got to talk mythical creatures and dinosaurs. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like that was rad.
In a battle royale. That was a good time. That was
a good time, man. So yeah, I appreciate it, Nardy. So thank y'all. Make sure y'all give him some love. For anyone curious, I want to thank everyone for listening. If you guys enjoyed the show, be it on YouTube or live, please consider subscribing over on YouTube. If you want to catch it live and want to try and chime in and get your take in the show, you can catch us over at twitch.tv/Koryzma. And if you enjoyed the show, and did you get most of the game questions right? If you did, let me know. Did anyone stump you? And but you can find me at, like I said earlier, twitch.tv/Koryzma, or over on YouTube at bKoryzma, and like everywhere else as well. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have an amazing night. So thank you for enjoying Takes with Koryzma.
Thanks, guys.